Dude, what a banger episode. Okay, so spoilers obviously. Don't freaking watch this. You haven't freaking watched the episode already. So today we finally have some like super cool character interactions. The boys head to the mansion. We weren't too surprised there. So they just like leave Roswell's house. He's like, man, I wish we could have just got this over. I just wanted him to surrender, but freak. All right, here we go. Then they show up to go get the ground dragon. But instead they take a whole carriage. Now the villagers are aware they're leaving Sanctuary. Like it was made into like a little bit of an event. Subaru's like, this is the art of war of Subaru. Something, I forgot what plan he said, and Garfield thought it was cool. It's the first time we see Garfield freak out, or some of this dude says, and he's like, what? That sounds so cool. Also, we now know there's an idiom for Reinhardt. Somebody said, I think Garfield said, if you've seen Reinhardt like run or something like that, and it's like, wow. Subaru's like, hey, this dude's still alive and he has an idiom. So that was pretty solid. But we get to my favorite part. So Ram and Emilia get so much character love. Like in this episode alone, you get like way more about their characters and how like how strong you can take them as people. So Ram, we now learn she has a goal specifically, right? And when Emilia comes out the trial, you think it's just gonna be Ram like, okay, Emilia-sama, let me go show you back to where like some place Subaru had. But no, Ram has a wish of her own. She wants Emilia to save Roswaal. So now we're getting this dynamic where Emilia has now become a part of the protagonist, like a serious protagonist now. Because what always happens whenever it's Subaru is somebody, please save so-and-so. It happens in this episode. It happens in this episode where somebody asks Subaru to save somebody again. That one's not that big of a spoiler, so don't worry about it. But yes, so now Emilia has finally gotten in the spot. And it's so much of a request from Ram. She cares so much that she even bows. This is the first time we sincerely see her like ask anybody for anything without an insult, without anything else. She even tells Emilia even points out the fact like, oh, you probably were surprised that I even did this. You probably thought I wouldn't even be able to do it whatsoever. And Ram's like, yeah, like I'm gonna be honest, like I'm not gonna lie. So it's really cool to now hear from the fact that Ram's wish is the fact that she wants Roswaal saved from his witch delusions. And as we learned from the last episode, people have now speculated, I don't believe it's a light novel or web novel, but I will say it now. People have a theory that Hector and Roswaal might be like a fused person. I'm an anime only, so it's not like this is a big deal. Don't worry about it. This is a theory going around. And I'm kind of on that one, because we see in this episode, after Ram gives her big discussion and Emilia promises to save him and also become the ruler of Lagunaga, Roswaal shows up, and now we don't know how much he heard from that. Like, that's a whole thing. Ram looks a little shocked, and then she grabs Emilia's hand for like support. And yeah, this is like the first time we're seeing Ram do this kind of thing. These are like the most if you ever wanted here's your kawaii moment to Ram, there you go. See, now your waifu is there for you. Now you get to enjoy the moment. Woo. Ram and Emilia had plenty. Now you finally get your Ram moments with this. So Roswaal, he's not happy about this. Like, he's obviously not happy about this. He's in shock. You can tell he's in shock because there's no reason for him to show up otherwise. He was injured in bed, and every single loop we've seen him in, this man has been slept because he knew full well he wasn't dealing with any problems. The first problem this man gets, he wakes up, he gets up, and he walks all the way over to that problem and starts talking trash to it. So he starts talking smack to Emilia. He starts going, wow, you sound just like Subaru. You've done such a good job. But I have to ask a question. Are you just repeating everything Subaru says? I mean, me and Subaru, we're just like two peas in a pod. We will tell basically anything to the woman we love because we want them to carry our ideals. Sadly, that's just how me and Subaru are. And Emilia goes, nope, that's not right. I figured if you were going to say something else, I might have agreed with you. But Subaru didn't think that way. Subaru doesn't treat me like a waifu, which is the important part here. This is a big issue people had with season 1, but this is it's such an amazing payoff. Subaru doesn't treat Emilia like a waifu. He will talk smack to her like he did. He called her a pain in the butt. He said, I don't know where you go around thinking you're some sort of, he basically almost called her like a spoiled princess, running around and doing all this crap and making people have to go after you and worry about you. And here you are, not even worth all that struggle. Like, he broke her down during the moment she was at her lowest. because he was being honest with her, because he can be honest with her. Unlike Roswaal and probably Echidna, there's a reason why Roswaal can't go in the domain to go take another trial unless she keeps letting you back, dude. She clearly has a wall for you and not a wall for other men, okay? Oh my gosh, when you think about Echidna, like every guy she's with is exes, and the new guy she's with are her now relationship partners. It only makes the analogy that much better. Roswaal is a simp, okay? A 400-year-old simp. Or as far as we were aware, since that was like an old time period, right? But either way, that was one of the greatest moments for Emilia. Emilia got to tell Roswaal off. Then he went, well, he got more upset about it. I forgot what was the second argument about? But it was nice being able to see Ram rely on Emilia, and also just have Emilia just be bold about it. No shaking. I'm so trained for Emilia to break down that the moment I saw her eye, like up close, I was worried she was gonna break down. But in fact, it was Roswaal who showed the face of shock twice. He did it twice. So that was a big win for Emilia, big win for Ram, and it only gets bigger. Like if you were happy for Ram, it only gets better. So Emilia goes right back in the trial. Our girl's on A game, Team Emilia. I've been Team Emilia on A game. She's going back in. We later on get to Ram talking about why she wanted the wish. Her and Otto have a private talk. Otto he shows up from the trees and he's like, "Hey girl, would you like to get," I have no idea for this analogy I wanted to go to. Either way, it just sounded like a player. It was just funny to me that he appeared out of like the woods, okay? Anyways, so they agree for the fact that the three things that she wants. One, we had to take Garfiel down a notch, I believe. Two, I forgot what two was. Three, can't tell Subaru about this specific wish, like this specific one. It's very important. Oh no, tell Subaru to go do something about Emilia. That was funny. Ram was like, man, I'm tired of her too. You know, Subaru doesn't take care of his freaking girlfriend. I know something. I'ma do it. So we had that happen. And then Ram says for her wish. And we see Ram walk to Ryuzu's shrine cave building. You know what I'm talking about. The building with the big crystal in it. Anyways, so she gets in there. And Roswaal's already there. So we are now confirmed that every timeline, we knew he was using mana to bring the bunnies there, but we didn't know how to some degree, especially like with all the snow. So either he's been getting up and doing this every single time, or maybe he was just using his mana in the past ways. But this time he is using the crystal to make snow, to make it snow unnaturally. He is trying to hurry up the situation because he's losing. He's a salty, salty dude. Because we're going to see it later on. I think he even rushed his two assassins. So Ram is having this speech with him. He's like, Ram, didn't I tell you to go wait for Emilia? Excuse me. Who told you were allowed to go and do this? Then they get into their discussion about their oath in the past. He starts kind of, he even when he's talking to her, he's kind of down talking her. I don't really know if I paid attention to this beforehand. I don't know if this has been consistent with his character throughout, but now that he's admitted how he feels about women he loves, if he even does love Ram, it's just down talk the entire time. We hear about the horn, a little bit more about their promise, and Ram is now ready because she thinks this Roswaal is obsessed with the witch's delusion, and she's right. Like, she's 100% right. And she's not going to stand for it, which is good for her character, because I was always curious, how does Ram feel about a character she's supposedly in love with who is super witch cult related? Like, everything in her past that is traumatic by any regard is witch related, and we saw what that happened with Rem, right? I was a bit mean on Rem in the beginning, but I can understand her point now being in season 2 of being so harsh on Subaru. I don't like how harsh she was. It still doesn't excuse it for me, but seeing that rabbits will kill you, people will kill you, literally the air, the water, black water will kill you in Rezero immediately. So no, I understand. There's no reason to take any chances. You don't know this guy. This guy can be a crazy witch cultist. I'm not doing it twice. No. Subaru wouldn't do it twice if it was him. Actually, he might. That's Subaru's better characteristics. But then they're both talking about Subaru's, better timing. And Rom calls him out for for the book he has. So she's aware of the book. 2, again, for Subaru's timing being better. And then 3 for the witch's delusions. Roswaal starts the crystal. You can see it glowing behind him. He's like, well, there's nothing you can do to stop me. You know, fool, I'm stronger than you. And she's like, yep, I know you're right. That's why I brought this. And she brings up the crystal, and there's Puck. The one time I'm happy to see Puck. The one greatest time I'm happy to see Puck. Because we already saw in the crystal beforehand, he was talking to Subaru. I don't know if Subaru heard him back, because he wasn't really like in a contract within that crystal. He was just within the crystal. And now this time, he's there. And we saw what the crystal did to Garfield. I don't know if it'll have the same effect, because I'm pretty sure the crystals are supposed to be for Garfield and Frederica with their demi-human issues, right? But Puck was able to influence Garfield a bit more, I'm pretty sure. I'm sure it wasn't just a crystal, because he says, thanks, Puck. I'm glad I could rely on you, you know, to that sense. So I'm wondering if Puck does have the power to possibly, with the theory we had earlier, separate Roswaal from Hector. So when he's talking to Emilia, the one theory I forgot to bring up as we were talking about this, every time he talks to Emilia, he has one eye closed and one eye open, and it's specifically the colored eye that does not match the eye he had before. Because remember, both his eye colors were blue beforehand, but every time he talks to Emilia and he starts trash talking, this eye closes, this eye starts being open. And I have to also wonder now, because Rezero animators are really good, it seems, has he done that before? Do I have to almost go back and go watch all of season 1 again just to go and question myself? What times is Roswaal talking, and what time is it his, as Rom puts it, his delusions? It could just be him himself. That's still fine. But it's also still a good narrative tool to know when he's being kind of evil, possibly. So, now I have to check. This is very interesting. This is very good. So now Ram and freaking Puck are now going to fight Roswaal. He brings out his magic, and I think he shoots 2 fireballs. And then Puck brings out the ice. I hope they don't skip that fight. I hope we see that fight. Please, oh please, don't skip that fight. We get to the mansion, and some people hate Petra. What the freak is wrong? Petra ran back in the freaking thing just to go and try to save Rem. Whoever hates Petra, I think it was some like holographics freaking subs. If you hate Petra, screw you, okay? Screw you. Oh my gosh, I was so sad for a second. I was like, Petra, no, don't run back, darn it. There is nothing you can do, but I was so proud simultaneously, like a father. No, okay? And then she runs back, and then Elsa's there, and I'm like, screw Elsa so much, man. You know, there are people who really stand Elsa like this, and I can't do that. She just tried to kill a little girl. The heck is wrong with you? No! I don't care how big her boobs are. No! This is gonna be on the internet. Anyways, so she goes to swing at Petra, and Frederica's there, and then Frederica's like, I am going to kill you. What the freak is wrong with you? Obviously in like a sort of like, not for real, like she's not being serious. She's like, Petra, I told you to run. So she was already in danger, chose to run back to go save Emilia. I mean, not Emilia, Rem, okay? 10 out of 10. Petra, good job, Petra. Good job, okay? After that, she runs all the way downstairs, and she's like, oh, if I find Beatrice, we might actually survive this. So at least we kind of know how this dungeon, this situation would go. So what typically seems to happen is Elsa's in there by herself. It doesn't seem like, I don't remember what her name is specifically. Blue-haired girl isn't there all the time. It looks like Elsa's in there because she's probably strong enough to do it by herself. She fights Frederica. Frederica's actually pretty strong, by the way. She's fighting Elsa. She's not winning, but she's still fighting Elsa and being alive from it. She's able to catch the blade with her, like, animal hand and junk. I just want to say, Frederica's, like, high tier on power scaling. Let's not forget, okay? So, Frederica would fight her for a while. Petra probably goes running downstairs looking for Beatrice. Probably doesn't find her in time. Frederica dies. Petra probably dies next, or she either finds Beatrice. Beatrice might actually come outside to help, because we know Beatrice is not that cold-blooded. She just acts like she's that cold-blooded. But then they probably both die, and then GG, that's it for the mansion. And then it repeats itself once again. Roswaal gets the crystal. We're now seeing how everything has been playing, and now Subaru's pieces are disrupting. So Petra's like, oh my gosh, I can't find her. Subaru, if only you were here. After she's looking at the little thing, again, it's hitting me in my heart. I'm so like, no, Petra, don't die. And then Subaru shows up right at the nick of time, because he has the best timing in the world, because he's already died 4 times to get this perfect timing. He is a speed running master strat person. He's like, Petra, you know, I wish I got in here, and then she's so happy just to see that he came back just for the mansion. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, the emotions in this episode. Okay. So, Subaru's here, and he's like, man, you know, I can't go right up there myself. We might be screwed. But I did bring reinforcements. And Garfield shows up. He blocks up one of the attacks from Elsa. And then Frederica's there, and she's completely baffled. Elsa was not expecting it, so clearly that man moved quick enough that she was not expecting it, which is good. These are good signs. He's got both of his shield guards on. He's like, you remember when I used to wear these shield guards when we were kids? Now it's my turn. They say the best offense is the best defense, but the best defense is the best offense. Some long phrase that Garfield, you know, he'll do that. And then now, Garfield has entered the fight. And the first thing he says to Frederica when he sees her is, wow, why the frick are you so tall? And then she kicks him. And then she's like, oh my gosh, Garfield, you've gotten so strong. And Garfield's not having it because he was just kicked in the stomach. So he's like, what the freak, man? I'm like, I just came all the way out here. He's like, man, this is not you. They're both like, this is not how you greet somebody. In two different individual ways. And then he gets back up, and they both look like they're ready to fight. And then not Roswaal, freaking Garfield says, I can't have you being here right now. I need to be able to just go all out on this person. Subaru told me to go get some chick named Rem. That was funny. That was the wording. Some chick named Rem. Do you know where she is? I need you to grab her and go. And then Frederica's like, what? Go? No, this lady's dangerous. And he's like, just leave it to me. I got this. And we have the confident smile from Garfield. I think this man has this fight. If he doesn't have the fight, he's at least going to tie with her. Okay? I am so... This episode was amazing. This episode was absolutely amazing. I'm not gonna keep going on because we're already at 16 minutes. Just know my favorite part is Emilia talking mad smack back to Roswaal and watching that dude's face go. That surprise face should be a meme at this point, okay? In the Rezero community, I need you to make it a meme. But please let me know your favorite part down below. We have another video for this. I'm a little late today because I overslept just a little bit. Not happy about it, but just a little bit. Let me know what you're looking forward to most. Which fight are you looking forward to most? We have 2 fights. We might see animated. Oh my gosh, next episode is gonna be lit. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to wake up so early. Oh, bro, we got 2 of the best fights probably gonna be in here. It's gonna be Elsa versus Garfield and Ram versus dude. I'm so pumped. And then we also gonna get probably the unseen present, because this is Emilia's version, right? We know what Subaru's is like because he dies multiple times, so it's all jacked up. But now we'll just see it like normal for once, possibly. I know she said it'll be easy for her, but that doesn't mean we won't see something probably traumatic, probably pretty bad. It's Rezero. You know how this goes. But wow, dude. Wow, this has been like an amazing set of episodes. I'm gonna catch you all later. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next week for Rezero. Woo! I mean, happy Rezero Day, everyone. I really gotta edit like me messing with like Hollow and them on a on a video.